Most of us are taught to view plants as elegant biological machines. They convert sunlight into sugar, and over millennia, humans used a process of trial and error to figure out which ones healed us and which ones killed us. But in 1992, amid the chaos of the Soviet collapse, a period where hard science collided with resurfacing mysticism, a book called Healing and Magical Properties of Plants offered a different story. The author argued that our ancestors didn't rely on trial and error at all. Instead, she claimed plants possess a conscious bioenergy, capable of reading human thoughts, and early humans simply knew how to tap into this network. To grasp this worldview, we have to put down our modern biology textbooks. The author maps out a specific escalating history of green magic, broken into 3 distinct eras. The first era takes us into occult mythology. According to these esoteric traditions, prehistoric humans, specifically the legendary Atlanteans, didn't need microscopes to understand botany. They relied on a natural clairvoyance. To an Atlantean, a forest was a vibrant, communicative grid. They supposedly saw the spiritual properties of plants radiating outward, glowing as visible, moving light. After the mythical fall of Atlantis, humanity lost this innate sight. To bridge the gap, the narrative pulls from the ancient apocryphal Book of Enoch, describing a group of fallen angels who descended to Earth to interact with the survivors. These beings reportedly took human wives and taught them forbidden arts: how to cut roots for medicine, how to read the stars, and how to mix cosmetics to alter one's appearance. In this mythology, human botanical medicine started as a direct, forbidden transmission of divine knowledge. As centuries passed, that pure mythic knowledge allegedly fractured. It survived as village witchcraft, where the invisible forces of nature were categorized as bioenergy. Practitioners developed a system of biolocation. They identified trees like the white birch and the pine as energetic donors. Sick or exhausted people were instructed to lean against their trunks to physically recharge their vitality. On the opposite end of the spectrum was the aspen. Tied to folklore as the tree Judas Iscariot hanged himself on, the aspen was classified as an energetic vampire, supposedly draining a person's life force. This categorization extended into human psychology through red magic. Practitioners used highly fragrant plants, like orchids, in rituals like the apple of love. These ingredients were baked into fruit to synthetically hijack a target's free will. These rituals formed a highly systematized attempt to categorize and control the invisible energy of the natural world. By the 20th century, humanity was cut off from myth and village magic. But the desire to prove that plants were conscious remained, leading to an attempt to validate it using modern machines. In the late 1960s, a polygraph expert named Cleve Baxter took standard lie detector equipment and hooked the electrodes directly to the leaves of office houseplants. Baxter devised an experiment to test their awareness. He set up a mechanism to drop live shrimp into boiling water at random intervals, creating a localized death event near the monitored plants. This chart shows the polygraph readout from that experiment. The line spikes violently right at the marker labeled shrimp drop. Baxter claimed this proved the plants felt telepathic empathy for the dying animals. Hooking a plant to a lie detector represents the ultimate modern urge, the desire to force the natural world into a laboratory and quantify its soul. Modern science easily dismisses telepathic houseplants and Atlantean clairvoyance. Yet, researchers are increasingly finding that the physical outcomes of these ancient practices were often real. Modern phytotherapy confirms that specific folklore remedies, like rhodiola and eleutherococcus, function as biogenic stimulators. Also known as adaptogens, these substances help the human body resist chemical, physical, and biological stress. Even the psychological claims of tree magic have modern parallels. Clinical studies show that looking at specific shapes and colors of plant crowns can measurably lower human blood pressure and stress levels. The historical narrative of fallen angels and magical energy grids might be fiction, but dismissing these old texts entirely means throwing away centuries of acute human observation. Whether through love potions or polygraph needles, these artifacts highlight an enduring hope, the desire to prove we are not alone in a cold universe, and that the natural world is actually listening to us.